Hello, this is Jason Swain, documenting what happened from March 13th of 2020 going forward into the next school year of the 2020-2021 school year. You can see right here, we as a school use the platform Schoology, and we had used it in the past, but to make everything work online, we use it now all the time, every day. This is just one of the unit examples and what we've had to do with that. In Unit 3, we teach about reproduction and genetics, and you can see we now have every single day, every single lesson, every single file on the computer so that everybody can access it. If we go to just a random day like day 7, learning about DNA, this is the kind of thing that we do to show what's going on. And instead of possibly using some manipulative like paper or Legos or something to build DNA, because it's a lot less hands-on this year, I created a PowerPoint where they can go into the PowerPoint, work through a whole bunch of different stuff, and I've made all of this. You can create your own piece of DNAs with your A's and T's and G's and C's right here in the PowerPoint. You drag the pieces to create the base pairs. So the amount of work we're doing to make online possible, it's a lot, and we're doing it. If I go back here, this is a day that would be hands-on. It has to be hands-on because the students have to know how to use a microscope. So on this day, there were actually 3 lessons that were created. There was a lesson for the students that were in the classroom using a microscope. There was a lesson for the blue group that was not in the classroom, but the next day they were going to come into the classroom using microscopes. So on this day, they had to do a different lesson for students that were in the classroom. And then there's a different lesson for the classroom people that are full remote, because they're never going to be here to use a microscope. So they got to learn differently how to use a microscope without ever actually having it in their hand. For the letter E lab, which is the one I was talking about, students that were here were at the microscope looking at a letter E, seeing what happened. It flipped upside down and reversed, and that happens with the microscope. Students that were not here in the classroom were working on a whole bunch of different information with how to find total magnification, how to focus with the microscope, and then they go ahead and they work through another PowerPoint guide, and when they're done, they upload. And that's how everything's working this year in my classroom. Mostly PowerPoint. They create stuff, they finish it, they save it, and they upload it. And then I can check their work here. Another thing that went down or happened is that with all this craziness, learning Zoom, because I had never used Zoom before, but figuring that out, recording lessons, uploading lessons, talking about what's happening, and me describing it with videos of myself, like right here. Hey, there's me. Hello, welcome. Adobe, just by chance, decided that their Flash player would not work anymore. It was not up to date. It would possibly allow viruses, and Adobe discontinued the use of Flash player. So for the past 10 years, we've had sites where you could go and do interactive labs. Like this one right here was looking at the parts of the flower, and you could pull the petals off of the flower, and you could go and see where the anther is and the stigma and all the different pieces of the flower, really interactive. And there was tons of other labs that were all based scientifically, meaning the science interactive was done with Flash Player. Adobe got rid of that. So now all of those sites we could have done online don't exist anymore. The Flash plugin is not supported. It doesn't exist. It's gone. So then trying to find other things that worked, we would go to sites like different media sites of Gizmo and EDU Media, but all of those sites are subscription sites, as you can see here. So to have an interactive where students could do stuff online doesn't exist that much anymore because people have not really transitioned into something new because in December of 2020 and January of 2021, Adobe Flash discontinued all of their existence and it doesn't work anymore. So the sites haven't really updated. And the sites that do have nice simulations and interactions are pay sites. So I would say that to do an online seasons lab where you could see the actual rotation and revolution, the Earth going around the sun, and you could see the tilt, and you could see all the cool stuff of things you couldn't actually do in the classroom because obviously that has to be a simulation, has to be a model. They're not there anymore. That, in a nutshell, is everything we've been working through and working on. So I just wanted to document that. There are another 15 or 20 things that we constantly are working through and changing, but those were the big things for me. And I just want myself to have this in the future. I have people to know everything we're working on. That's it.